All sports, double coverage.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. We hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the great man Sauce, and we're back at it once again. Big fella, what's happening?
How are we, mate? Back again. Show number 60. A big one on the cards, Doma. A big one on the cards. We've got a few things that are back this week, and obviously looking forward to, F1 being back on the cards. We're very excited about that. 3 races to come in a row, and that means, you know what that means, Doma? 3 off the grids, where we talk all F1 and F1 cards. So looking forward to that later in the week. But other than that, been really well. Definitely got a fiery lemon. We've got the lemon in the background here. Thank you to Adam from Beats and Breaks. And we've got the infamous BGS Lemon Gem Munted to go out to the Lemon of the Year. Don't you worry about that. That will be getting sent straight to them. But Doma, other than that, how have you been, brother?
Good, mate. Same old. It's another week in paradise, as they say, in lockdown. But you know what? We make the best of a bad situation. We always say that, whether it be live streams, which have been really fun on YouTube and Twitch. I think we went for like almost 4 hours the other night. We ended up watching the Dortmund game, and I tell you what,
the last one we're watching, isn't it?
Yeah, probably the last Haaland game I watched till Champions League, because he was horrendous, absolutely horrendous in that game. Besides that, Sauce, where we are going to start is the AFL, because round 23 is done, and we will now spend a bit more time on this because it's finals footy. This is when it counts. This is what it's all about. We'll go through round 23. There's some big upsets. A minor premiership was won with a kick after the siren Sauce. It all happened this week in round 23. So the Dogs lost again on the trot to Port Adelaide by 2 points, 64-66. They are struggling. We'll talk a bit about that in a second, because your mob will be playing the Dogs in round 1 of the finals. And
Global in the comments. Let's go the Bombers. Go the Bombers. How are we, Global? Joel, how are we, brother? Always good to have you tuning in, mate. Always a pleasure.
Feel free to plug this on your Insta. I was actually in the midst of doing it, and then I had to intro the pod, so I had to chuck down my phone.
I'll do it now.
Yeah. Richmond and Hawthorn drew 83-83. What a way to send off Asprey, Clarkson, and Sean Burgoyne. A draw. It came on the last kick of the game from Jack Riewoldt, and Sean Burgoyne touched it, but over the line. He could have been the hero there. Reports are sourced that Clarkson will not be going to Carlton or Collingwood coming out today.
Gold Coast. Stewie Jew's on the chopping block, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he is. But Sauce, the Blues have the golden opportunity. Adam Chera from Freo, who's a gun, said he wants to come back to Melbourne, and he's nominated Carlton. All these gun players are nominating Carlton, and they're a shit fight as a football club. They're a rabble, mate.
They're a rabble.
But people still but this is the thing, Sauce. If players still want to come to your football club, you got to get the best. Pay him. What did I say? Just pay him to the moon.
He knows how much of a rabble they are. That's why he doesn't want to go there, mate.
Yeah, you're probably right, because he knows that the board controls everything, and they're all duds. Sydney smashed Gold Coast 136-49. Buddy Sauce, 6 goals away. 6. No one can even run on the field because there'll be no crowds at the bloody game if he gets there. Just ridiculous. Brisbane smashed West Coast 125-87. Geelong lost to Melbourne 81-77 with a kick after the siren by Max Gawn, which secured the minor premiership for the D's. They were up by 6 goals, Geelong, at halftime, and they blew the golden opportunity to finish first on the ladder. Melbourne now are the top dogs in the competition going into the finals. The Blues, last game of the season, see you later. Lost to GWS by 14 points, 89-75. Saints smashed Freo, 107-49. Essendon defeated Collingwood, 102-64. And North played probably the worst game we've played since we played against the Western Bulldogs in like round 4. We lost 98-54, but we were a mess. So not a great way to end the season, but things are looking
They
promising.
tuned out, hadn't they, Doma? They tuned out.
They're
It
done.
was
We'll look
visible,
forward to
wasn't
next
it?
year. We'll get the number 1 pick and we'll be all right. Azuro, how we going? Good to have you in here. Obviously, one of the hosts of the Soccer Card Collective podcast on the Coverage.Media network. So good to have him in. Now, Sauce, first week of the finals. This is very exciting. 4 games, 4 blockbusters. We'll start with Port Adelaide versus Geelong. We'll get your tip. We're probably going to work out the footy tipping as well and give a prize to our winner, whoever that is. So I'll get that sorted throughout the week as well.
But definitely not me. I was out after 10 rounds, mate. I was done.
Yeah,
I was done.
Port Adelaide versus Geelong.
Now, they've really muffed that, haven't they, Geelong? They could have finished on top of power. Now they have to travel into Adelaide. Not that I don't think they would have had the home final in Geelong, but they would have been able to play in a neutral ground. Now they're going to go into the behemoth that is Adelaide Oval with the Port Adelaide supporters raring. And look, just quietly, Doma. Look, as much as we bag Port Adelaide all year and call them flat track bullies, which we still look, I genuinely just still think they're a bit like that. They've done well to finish second on the ladder, right? And they've put together their last rounds of football leading into the finals have been really, really good. And it's something that you see often in the AFL. You want to be having a good run into finals. That's why I'm so excited for the Dons this week. We've won 4 on the trot. We're playing well. We got no injuries. And then we come up against the Doggies. We'll talk about that in a sec. But they've put together a good run here. And I'm going to have to go with Port Adelaide here. I just can't tip Geelong. I can't tip Geelong because it's in Adelaide. And they've put a run together. And Geelong haven't convinced me the last couple of weeks. They haven't convinced me. And they always find a way. Look, they do have the second chance. But they always find a way in the finals to mess it up somehow, right? And I just don't think they'll have enough to get it done. What are your thoughts, Doma?
I can't believe I'm saying this, but genuinely, you're going to hear it here first. Unless they really, really cock this up a beauty, Port Adelaide, they are, alongside probably Brisbane, because they're playing some great footy, playing some informed footy, but they did struggle early. But Port Adelaide at the moment, Sauce, are primed to win the whole thing. The team that stood in the way last year was Richmond.
Yep.
It doesn't matter home final, not home final. All right. You're playing against Richmond. You were never winning that. When it comes to finals football, it's a different ball game. They're not in there. They are arguably the best team in the competition at the moment. The same, if not better than what Melbourne is. So I'm tipping Port Adelaide. They will win this week on the fact the same as you, Sauce. Geelong, for a top 4 side, are so inconsistent. They can put in a half of football, be in front by 6 goals, and then lose it. Capitulate in a half of football. In 2 quarters, they can go from 6 goals up to losing by 4 points. Like, that's not leadership of the team, in my opinion. You've got to be good for the 4 quarters, and they've struggled to do that a fair bit. They've won 5 straight, Port. They're in their last 5. Probably extends a bit longer than that. But
just going back and have a look. Their last loss was obviously against Melbourne. So, and that was at home. So, there's a big confidence booster for Melbourne. And look, I understand you've tipped Port Adelaide for the whole thing. I don't even know where I'm going to go with that, but it's tough one. I genuinely don't think Geelong can get the job done. I'm doubting them. So yeah, I'm going to go definitely Port Adelaide in this first game.
Next up, we know where
this is going to be a cracker. This is going to be a cracker, but you know what I'm going to tip. Yeah, right.
Sydney GWS.
Sydney. I'm going Sydney all the way. Sydney all the way. As I said at the start of the year,
Just
very
tip him to win
early
it.
on,
Just
very
tip him
early
to win
on,
it.
Doma, I said Sydney, out of all the teams, Sydney are my Smokey tip to come up and take the lot.
You did
Take the
say
lot.
that.
And if they go on and take it, Dom, I might have to go back and say, you know what? Go back and find it in the very early episodes. It would have been. It was within the first 3-4 weeks of the
It was me
season.
last year with Richmond, and could be you this year with Sydney. You did say it. So and you've held true to it.
You know what we're going to see? This is the best part, mate. This is the best part. We're going to see the Budwa in finals again. This is what we want to see, mate. The Budwa in finals again. I'm going with Sydney all the way. I think they've got too much firepower for GWS. They've been the more consistent team throughout the season. Obviously, this is going to be played with an empty stadium, so there's no real advantage. But I'm going to go the Swans. I'm going the Swans. I'm sticking with it.
I am also tipping the Swans. Even though, GWS are playing great football. They're starting to get the machine well oiled, and they're starting to literally roll again. But I think Sydney's in great form. And Buddy, I'm mistaken. He's 8 goals away from 1,000. So if they can win, what do they have to play? They have to play 4 games to win it all. So if you can just get to kick 7 goals in 3 weeks, Buddy, and then kick his 1,000th goal in the granny, if they make it, that would
be unreal.
Everyone should just run on, mate. In a grand final, 1,000 goals, they win the flag, he wins a Norm Smith medal. It doesn't get better than that. That would just be, and then he just gets up there and says, I'm retiring now. There's nothing else for me to do.
I'm done.
As simple as that. So I'm going Sydney. Next up, Melbourne versus Brisbane, and this is going to be a cracker.
It's going to be a great game. This is going to be a very good game. Played at Adelaide Oval. I believe they'll be able to have fans in there. So if there are any, Melbourne fans or Brisbane fans in the area, or whether neutral fans will be able to get into the ground. So at least there'll be some sort of atmosphere, which will be good to see. I don't know who to tip. I really don't. Obviously, if it was played at the G, where it should be played, and Melbourne's home ground, I'm definitely going with Melbourne. It's over at Adelaide Oval, which is, very similar size to the MCG. It's a large ground, so I think this is going to suit Melbourne. I'm gonna stick with them. They've they were a bit shaky, just going through that middle part of the season, but they've straightened the ship, and they're looking good leading into finals. They've had a couple of good wins in a row, and obviously a win over Port Adelaide in Adelaide as well, which was about 6 weeks ago. So that's a massive boost for them. So look, I'm going with the D's. Brisbane, I don't know how many times they need to get into the finals. They've been, this will be 3 years in a row they're back in the finals. I think also 2nd year in a row they've made the top 4. So, they need to try go one better. They really do need to try go one better, but I think the D's will have too much for them. I'm not sure throughout the year. I think the D's might have beaten them. I can't recall, but yeah, I'm going with the D's, man. I'm going with the D's. I think Maxi Gawn is going to put on an absolute clinic in the ruck, mate. He's going to put on an absolute clinic and dominate. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think they get the job done as well. And then the last game, Dogs versus Essendon. I'm tipping the Bombers.
We're going to win, mate. We're going to win. I'm confident.
I'm tipping the informed team against a team that is completely out of form.
Completely out of form. What? 4 on the trot, 3 on the trot.
If this was 4 weeks ago, Sauce. So they've lost 3 in a row. If this was 5 weeks ago. So 5 weeks ago they'd won 2 in a row. They're playing decent football. For example, they had won 4 out of their last 5, like most of the teams in the top 4 have done. They've won 3. Port's won 5 on the trot. Melbourne's won 4. Brisbane's won 4. I would say, yeah, they're in form. There's a bit of a hiccup. They lost last round. It's a whatever thing. But the fact that they played that bad, they've dropped out of the top 4 because of that. You're playing with something on the line. Why would the players... you don't want to play bad football when there's a top 4 spot on the line. And that's when they played bad, when there was something in reach. It's not 2016 anymore where they finished outside the 4 and they won it. I think the caliber of teams are better than what they had to go through. So I genuinely reckon you're the informed team. You've been playing really well. You've won your last 3 Sauce going in.
Last
So
four?
last three.
3. Oh, shit. Got
Last
ahead of
3.
myself there.
You beat the Dogs 3
We
weeks
beat the
ago
Dogs.
by 13.
We started their rut, mate. We started the big rut with the doggies. And look, there's a few things worrying about them. Like they're not they're getting beat around the ball, which is where they're usually pretty good. Obviously, Josh Bruce out, which has been thrown a massive spanner into the works. They've been trying to figure out who do they have a target up forward, who do they put up there. It's just not working as well as it was when Brucey was up there. So I'm excited, Doma. I'm excited. We've got a few players to come back, as I believe, but I really just hope that they're not underdone. And that last week there was words that some guys could have come back, but they've just rested them a bit more. So look, we are the informed team, and I'm excited that we're back in the finals, and I hope we can win our first final since 2004. And that Twitter account that says that we haven't won a final in I don't know how many days, what it's up to, I'll find out right now. As soon as that's gone, I'll tell you what, mate. Hang on.
He'll get abused. That guy's going to cop it silly.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, but 100%. You know what? I'd gladly take the abuse. I just reply with, yeah, but it took you this long to win one. So what are you bagging me for? It's like I'm just stating facts. So
here we go. He's just 23 hours ago, 6,198 days.
Wow. Just on in some other news source, Gil McLachlan just announced that Optus Stadium in Perth will host the grand final if the Victorian government come out with their plans and say that it's not safe for it to be held in Victoria. So it's going to go to Perth. In my opinion, it's going to Perth.
That means it's going to Perth. It's going to Perth because
we've said it from day one source.
As we know, Mr. Gil McLachlan knows more than the average person and even knows more than the actual politicians themselves. So it is 100% going to Optus Stadium.
So there you go. There's our tips for week 1 of the finals. Sauce and I both tipped the same. We're going Port against Geelong, Sydney against GWS, D's against Brisbane, and the Bombers against the Dogs. All right, Sauce. Let's get to EPL. I'm just going to get through the results. There's been some juicy stuff that has dropped today in the soccer world that we will cover. One thing I'm extremely anxious about, I've had anxiety the whole day. And if it comes to fruition, I might not be doing a podcast for the week because I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. Anyway, week 2 of the Premier League, 4-1 win against Leicester for West Ham. Fantastic stuff. Spurs defeated Wolves. Chelsea defeated your boys 2-0. Aston Villa defeated Newcastle 2-0. Palace and Brentford drew. Leeds and Everton drew 2-2. Man City smashed Norwich 5-0. Brighton defeated Watford 2-0. Liverpool defeated Burnley 2-0. And we've got to spend a little bit of time on this also. Whether you want to talk about Arsenal, I don't know. I don't think you do. But Southampton and Man United drew 1-1. And I've got a bit to say about this. I posted something in the group, in a group chat that we got, because Ant triggered me. He pissed me off. He said, how's those United boys looking? And I was just like, at that point in time, I was so frustrated at the team. Not at him. It's just like, I had to go into analytical mode and say, this is the reason why we fucking drew to Southampton 1-1. We are not winning a Premier League championship title with Fred and Matic on the pitch. First of all, Sauce. Second of all, Anthony Martial is done. All right? I'm just putting it out there. He's done. I've never seen a player more devoid of confidence than Anthony Martial right now in world football.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, you have. I'll tell you who. I'll tell you who. Aubameyang, mate. Aubameyang.
No. Are you serious? Aubameyang could play balls, mate. I watched the Chelsea game. He tried to set up a few goals. Martial's force goes to touch the ball to control it, and he donkey touches it in front of him. He just gives up the ball. He literally is a shell of himself. He's actually very sad to see because he was such a great player. He looks lost, right? So he doesn't get another game. And I'm going to go back on the record, all right? And people are going to say, yeah, but you finished second last year, all right? You finished second last year. Well, Solskjaer did a great job. You know where I'm going with this, all right, Sauce? You don't change a winning team. As simple as that. Except for the 1 week spot that we had last week, which was James on the pitch. He's come out. He's put Martial there this week. Yeah, Greenwood's on the wing. He's put Fred and Matic. It's not the team that should have been played. It should have been the exact same team as last week. Greenwood up front as the lone striker. It worked. Start Sancho instead of James. And then off the bench, you can bring guys like Matic if you want to. Lingard off the bench until we get guys like Rashford back, who would probably start. And then you can have more quality come off the bench. Varane was on the bench this week. He'll play this week coming. 100% he's playing. If he's not playing, I'm going to lose my shit.
Surely you got to get Sancho on there. You bought him in on big money.
Mate, he has to start. He has to start.
This week,
Greenwood, Sauce.
Put Greenwood up front and put him on the wing, man. It makes so much sense. Why did you bring him in for? Greenwood is your striker. Greenwood is your striker. That's it.
He is dominating. He's playing that well. Get
him up there.
You got to play Pogba where you played him last week. He played unbelievable. He gelled well with Bruno Fernandes. It was happy days. In saying that, people were surprised about this result. I was not surprised for the fact that the team changed, and I always question Solskjaer for shit like this, and that's why I'm not a huge fan of him. But the fact of the matter is, Leeds made us look like we were the champions in week 1 when we weren't. They played for the first 20 minutes of the game, and then they were witches' hats. We were just walking around them. They were insipid. They were putrid. They were a rabble in week 1. And we're basing the fact that we should win everything off that game. I've seen United supporters crapping on during the week, like, give us the title now. And I'm sitting there going, are you guys for real? We literally played against Carlton. That's what it was like, Sauce, mate, in week 1. That was shit. So hold your horses, all right, because we shouldn't be drawing 1-1 to Southampton. We're much better than them.
Yeah, 65% of possession, Doma.
Mate, we had more shots than them. At one stage, it was 14 shots to 3. We were destroying them. We decimated them. Anyway, besides the point, we'll move on to this week. It was terrible. Week 3, Man City versus Arsenal this week. I feel for you, Sauce. I really do.
6-0. 6-0.
Villa versus Brentford. Brighton, Everton. Newcastle, Southampton. Norwich versus Leicester. West Ham versus Palace. Liverpool versus Chelsea, which would be a great game. Then we've got Burnley, Leeds. Spurs, Watford. And United finish off the round with against Wolves. So we've got to win that game, surely. Wolves away. The table at the moment, West Ham is first, Chelsea second, Liverpool third, Brighton a fourth. Tottenham
that hurts
fifth.
me. I just looked at West Ham results, and I was about to put Antonio in the fantasy team, and I didn't because he was sitting there, and he's gone and scored 2 goals, mate. He's gone and scored 2 goals.
United are in 6th, Everton 7th, Brentford 8th, City 9th, Villa 10th, Watford 11th, Leicester 12th, Southampton 13th, Palace 14th, Leeds 15th, Wolves 16th, Burnley 17th, Newcastle 18th. In relegation zone, Arsenal in 19th, and Norwich is 20th. I watched your boys, so I was actually sad watching that game. If that makes you feel any better.
Yeah, we're literally look. I said it during the week. I don't know how many times I need to say it. We are shit, right? We are shit, right? For a club that has spent $129 million, what the fuck did we spend $129 million on? Like, literally, honestly, you know what I mean? Like, what did we buy for $129 million?
I could have got a gig. Surely I could have got a gig.
Let alone we're still playing the same players that suck, like Granit Xhaka, right?
He's
Still giving that bloke games. Then, to make things worse, we just what attack do we have? Like, what attacking flair do we have? We got nothing, you know. And we try to sit back. We have 35% of possession, and we get dominated, get bullied. You know, it's
You
just
can't do anything. Chelsea are potentially going to win the league, so it's not.
We
losing 2-0 to them
terrible.
is not that bad. It's
We are
expected.
terrible, man.
Yeah. Now, a few other things came out to us today. First of all, Mbappe, by reports, wants to be at Real Madrid. Whether it's done by the end of this transfer window or not, I'm pretty sure he walks out on a free if they can't get a deal done. But he wants to be at Real Madrid. This is massive. Everyone thought that he sticks around, he plays with Messi for a few years, but it's looking more likely to the fact that he's going to be gone.
He's only got 1 year left. Yes, just confirmed, Doma. So he only got 1 year left. Obviously, if he ends the end of this year, he's going to go out and free. So it's either he's got to go this window or in the January window. But I don't think he would want to go in the January window because then he can't play Champions League.
Yeah. I don't know. This is massive. The second thing.
What do you reckon that is? Do you reckon that, obviously Messi coming there doesn't want to be under the shadow of Messi or wants to be the man of the team? Because let's be honest, we said it last week. This is prime. This is prime for Mbappe or a big guy to go to Real Madrid, go to Barcelona and take over La Liga. It's crying for the next big star La Liga, and whether you want to admit it or not, La Liga is, in my opinion, probably the second best league, but they've lost a lot of talent and they need some bigger guys back in there to bump up the league again. But the overall play in the league is very, very good, very, very high.
I genuinely think this would be fantastic. He's not going to be obviously a replacement for Messi in terms of the caliber of his status in world football, but you know what? It's a good start considering what he's done at 22 years of age. He's very young. He probably just doesn't want to be at PSG and do what Messi did for his whole career. He's played with a team that's unbelievable. Mbappe at this point, but it's like he probably wants to be the man. I think Madrid is, it's a team he's always dreamed of playing for. The opportunity's there. If I'm Madrid, I don't know what their financials are like, if they can even pay the transfer fee. They have put a bid in, though. I think it was a $168 million bid for him. So they definitely have the money to get him over. If I'm PSG, would you probably take that, considering the finances and stuff around paying players? And I don't know. They've got enough money there, but I don't know. Zurdo says he's up on La Liga, second league in the world.
Yeah, I love his little graphic he shared. He says Serie A boring, and there was 36 goals. I thought Serie A was supposed to be the best defensive league, mate. What are you talking about? And there's 36 goals being scored. That's not very good.
I just think it's like you said, it's a massive opportunity to get a superstar back in that league to generate some more income for La Liga and get more eyes back on that league, and hopefully bring Real Madrid back up to that level in Champions League where they're super competitive to win it. The other news, Cristiano Ronaldo wants out of Juventus. Linked to Manchester City. I'm not happy, Sauce. I'm not. If this happens, people say like, oh yeah, but they go to different teams, and I've seen a lot of stuff in United groups and saying, well, how would you feel about this? And people said, it's time to. People go to other clubs, and it's time for other clubs to be on top. Not Manchester City. I don't want them to be on top. Mate, they bought their way into it, so no. I would genuinely be shocked if he moves there based on his love for Manchester United. I genuinely would be shocked. I was speechless reading a lot of the stuff today, going, surely this isn't true. I've spoken to some mates, and some mates have told me he's not going. He definitely won't be going. I just said the best thing to do is probably get Fergie on the phone to Cristiano and Fergie work his magic. Just say, listen, you're old, I'm old. We'll kick Solskjaer out for a couple of years. I'll come back and manage you. You know, win a Champions League and we can retire into the sunset together. That'd be nice. But I genuinely, Sauce, if it happens, I'm coming on this show after probably a month hiatus because I won't be able to show my face because I probably cry every time I have to mention Ronaldo's name. But once I get over that, if he goes there, I'm shutting it down. You're hearing it first, I'm shutting it down. I'm probably going to give him Le Mans of the Year on the spot. F him, F City, I don't care. The fact that I'm going to give Ronaldo a second Le Mans after you gave him one in shocking circumstances, which I still disagree with you about. Besides the point, he's going to cop 2, and he's pretty much going to be in the front runner to win it. Now, I want to go hand deliver it to him myself. That'd be great if I could meet him and give it to him and tell him that you're a lemon, and then I'd probably hug him and say you're the best player ever and I love you and I can never be upset at you. But besides the point, it can't happen, Sauce. All right? Surely. Get Harry Kane, Man City, spend all your money there. United, here's the formula for you. I'll outline it for you beautifully. Literally, sell Martial, sell Lingard, get the money, and just buy him. Genuinely just buy him for 2 seasons. And then he'll retire, or 3 seasons. Just buy him. So that's my thought process. Get rid of some of those guys, buy him, and thanks for coming. I don't know. What's your thoughts on it, Sauce? I hope he doesn't freaking go there.
I want to see him go there because I want to see you absolutely lose it on the podcast. That's exactly what I want to see. But honestly, if United allow that to happen, I don't know what I'm going to say because the history that he's got with the club, you would think that they would do everything in their power that if he does want to come back to the Premier League, he is going back to United. And you never know. Maybe, getting someone like Ronaldo in there might, persuade guys like Pogba to not leave on a free at the end of the year if he signs on a 2-year contract. So it could actually be beneficial for your club. And he comes in there with that winning mentality, the mentality that let's be honest, Doma, you've been lacking over the last number of years, right? That mentality that has, once seen Manchester United as the number 1 club in the world, right? So it wouldn't be a bad thing if he did come back to the club, but look, it would be really, I don't know how any United supporter could genuinely be like okay with it.
No, I'm not okay with it.
I don't know how. I don't know. Surely they would be fuming. They would be fuming. I mean, by all means, if he really wants to come to Arsenal, we'll take him. Open arms, man. If he wants a challenge, come to Arsenal because we suck, right? And we'll take him.
I know he wants to play Champions League football. United's playing Champions League football. So what do you mean? Is Ronaldo doesn't know United shit? If they're willing to take him, then fair play wherever he goes. I agree with you. They should take him. But let's be honest, he does owe fucking United everything. He'd be like, Fergie found him, coached him. You can't say that he doesn't owe United shit. Yeah, owes United a lot more than he owes Real Madrid and Juventus. I can tell you that much for free. But I'd be severely disappointed. I'd be shattered, would be probably the word. I'm with you. I don't know, as a United fan, how I could sit there, Sauce, and be okay with him in a Manchester derby lining up on the other side against us. I probably couldn't watch it. I'd probably vomit. I'd vomit all over my over my coffee table. I just vomit everywhere. I'd be disgusted. That's okay, Azudo. You can disagree. I'm telling you, this time you're wrong. That's just for me. Straight out. So he gave United a lot to, including massive transfer fee. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. And we still were successful after he was gone as well. So it was just after Fergie was gone that we were a piece of shit as a football club. So
still.
Well, you know what? If we don't fix the shit up that we did this week that just passed, then yes. If Greenwood's not playing as the striker this week, Sauce, forget about it. I don't know what we're doing. If Sancho's sitting on the bench and coming on in the 50th minute, so literally he hasn't had impact for the whole game. I want him in there to get the game speed up to scratch from the moment the whistle goes in the first second. Gets the tempo, the feel of the game, and then he has his impact. So if he's sitting on the bench, if Varane doesn't start, and if Greenwood's not playing as the sole striker, and McTominay's sitting on the bench, who's our best defensive midfielder by a mile, then might as well give it up. I agree with Azurdo. Le Mans to United and to Ronaldo if it doesn't happen. So
Ronaldo's already copped the Le Mans, mate. Don't forget that.
He'll get a second one. I don't give a shit. All right, so let's move on. Enough, because I'm going to get upset. And I don't want to say the C word on this podcast, but it will happen if he moves to Manchester City. It's gonna happen.
And I'm just in the background here while you're getting all fired up. I'm just making some really crucial transactions in my fantasy league team. And I tell you what, I absolutely cocked it up. I thought I put Lukaku on the field, but I must have forgot to save team, and he scored a goal. So that's probably cost me a lot of points over the weekend.
Yeah, probably.
Which I'm not happy about.
My team's looking okay. We probably run through that next week.
We'll do a bit of a roundup at some point when we go through it. All right, Dom. Moving on.
F1 Belgian Grand Prix this week. It's the first of 3 consecutive weekends of races. Off the grid is back. The usuals will be involved. Myself, Lukey, Saucey will be in there this week.
Yeah, mate, I'll be in there.
Azurdo, you're going to be there. He's in the chat. We'll see if Azurdo is going to be. He's usually there. Whether it's at the beginning or he's always there, mate, which is good. And we'll see who else we can get on. Like Saucy said on another stream that we did, we're going to be trying to get somebody pretty special to get on there. Special guest, which will be nice. And he can talk about F1 cards with us and the race. So we'll cover that next week, the results. All right, Sauce, bit of UFC.
UFC, Doma, obviously over the weekend we had Canier versus Gastelum, UFC Fight Night. I'll run through the main card. I'll breeze through this. Had Alexandra Pantoja defeated Brandon Royval in the flyweight division submission second round. Had lightweight division, had Vinci Pichel defeated Austin Hubbard in the third round decision. You had the bantamweight division. You had, oh my word. I'm going to have a crack at this, but I've got no chance at literally saying this. Sayudkub Kakaramanov. That's my best crack. Defeated Trevin Jones in third round submission. It had heavyweight division. Parker Porter defeated Chase Sherman, third round decision. Lightweight division, you had Mark Madsen against Clay Guida. Defeated Mark Madsen, defeated Clay Guida in third round decision. And in the main event, you had Jared Cannonier. It went the distance against Calvin Gastelum, and defeated him in the fifth round decision. Now, Doma, other than that, right, we had the undercard, right, the prelim card. And I don't go into this too often. Right?
Yes.
I always just go through the main card. But there was one knockout that if you haven't seen it, make sure you find a replay. Ignacio Bahamondes, the Chilean, with an absolute spinning roundhouse kick to the head, knockout, clean as a whistle. And Doma, first thing I did, you know what I did? I typed his name in and typed in RC. He's got no RC cards. Nothing. There's no cards of him. He's an up-and-comer. I think he's in his young 20s. Look out for him in the lightweight division. Up-and-coming. Chilean. Looks the goods. And has got good technique. And when you're doing knockouts like that, I'll tell you what, that will get you noticed quickly in the hobby. But there's no cards out there for him. So I've put him on the radar. Ladies and gentlemen. So Ignacio Bahamondes, the Chilean, watch out. He's coming. All right, Doma, UFC Fight Night. I'm getting into it. Give me a second. UFC Fight Night, Barbosa versus Chigadze. I don't even know how to say this guy's name. Chigadze? Mate, these names are so hard to say. All right.
I love it.
We gotta go through and run bloopers on this, mate. Run through the main card. We've got middleweight division, Makhmud Muradov against Gerald Mishkeret. in the middleweight division. Middleweight division, again, you got Andre Petrosky against Michael Gilmore. Then the welterweight, you got Kevin Lee against Daniel Rodriguez. That will be a good fight. That will be a very good fight in the welterweight division. Bantamweight division, you got Ricky Troikos against Brandy Heisten, and Brian Battle against Gilbert Urbina in the middleweight division. And then the main event in the featherweight division, Edison Barbosa against Giga Chikadze. Say it with a bit of an accent. I feel like I'm doing it a bit better. All right. That's UFC Fight Night this weekend. Main card kicks off at 12 p.m. Prelim card kicks off at 9 a.m. Tune in this weekend. I believe that will probably be free on ESPN. So, make sure you tune in and watch some fights this weekend. We can't really go anywhere, Donna, so we might as well tune in and watch some UFC.
100%. All right, Sauce. NFL, over to that. We are coming up to the start of the season, which is on September the 11th, is game 1 opening day for the NFL. So in a few more weeks, we'll go through the games in preseason week 2. Patriots defeated the Eagles 35-0. Mac Jones went 13-19 in this game. He actually threw the ball pretty well. Washington beat Bengals 17-13. Chiefs beat Cardinals 17-10. Bills beat Bears 41-15. The Jets beat the Packers 23-14. Ravens beat the Panthers 20-3. Dolphins beat the Falcons 37-17. Titans beat Buccaneers 34-3. Steelers beat Lions 26-20. Colts beat Vikings 12-10. Texans beat Cowboys 20-14. Raiders defeated Rams 17-16. Broncos defeated Seahawks 30-3. Browns defeated Giants 17-13. 49ers defeated Chargers 15-10. Saints defeated Jags 23-21. And the games for preseason week 3, which is the last week of preseason, Sauce, this week.
So before all the cuts happen, after this week, all the cuts will happen.
Colts at Lions, Steelers at Panthers, Eagles at Jets, Vikings at Chiefs, Packers at Bills, Ravens at Washington, Bears at Titans, Cardinals at Saints, Bucks at Texans, Rams at Broncos, Chargers at Seahawks, Jags at Cowboys, Dolphins at Bengals, Raiders at 49ers, Patriots at Giants, and the Browns at Atlanta. 100%. Joel, completely agree with what you said. Preseason doesn't mean much, but damn, I think Trevor Lawrence is in for a tough year. Yep, he's getting beat up and bullied around.
I was literally about to say, you know what they would want to be doing? They would want to just be getting that offensive line decent enough so there's not a situation where he's just not getting protected, a la Joe Burrow last year, and then ends up getting injured, which we don't want to see. We don't want to see. We want to get through the season without getting injured, and just see what he can do. See if he can just build some hype. Because I tell you what, his cards are going to be going for astronomical prices, and let's hope he can live up to that hype.
Now, Sauce, before we actually do get into the Le Mans of the week, I just want to put something out there. I don't want to say like I said so, but I want to put it on the pod because obviously reports came out that Prescott might miss a fair chunk of the season. He might not be right for the season in general. The funny thing is, before preseason in the NFL was even a blimp on the radar for this podcast, Sauce can attest to this because Sauce asked me, he goes, "What's your thoughts on the upcoming season?" And the first thing that came out of my mouth to him before anything else was spoken, Dolphins, which are my boys. Colts, I was shattered because Wentz was hurt because I've got some Jonathan Taylor and some Michael Pittman Jr. cards. The first thing I said to him was, don't put any money on the Cowboys. And if you do, bet the under because they're going to be putrid. And Saul said, surely not. Prescott will be back. I said, he's not going to be the same. Team's no good. And lo and behold, they're not even going to probably have their number one QB for most of the season. And the backup's no good. They're going to stink again. So anyway, I just thought I'd put that out there. Marty, what's happening in the comments? Here he is. He's in. All right, Sauce. Le Mans of the week. Give it to us.
All right, Tomer. we put the word out for people on the socials to nominate your Le Mans. We'll do it next week. We're feeling like we want to get the Double Coverage family involved, get you to send in some nominations because we know this is the People's Award, the Le Mans of the week. And, you yourself out there, if you aren't careful, you might get a Le Mans, right? No one is safe. Even us, right? Even us. I've nearly been tempted to give it to Doma at 1 week at one stage, but it was just happened to be that someone else had just done something way worse. So he got off the hook, right?
I don't even remember what it was for. I do that much dumb shit. So yeah.
Right. So this week, right, we just gone. Where's this coming from? Now, if anyone hasn't seen, Select Basketball has been hitting Facebook groups in Australia, Blasters, Megas. Been hitting the groups. Now, albeit there are people out there, that go through the work, bring them in from the States, might have a contact, might be being able to get a bulk order off a guy off eBay, might be able to get a bulk order off a guy off Discord or wherever they might find them, off a Facebook group, get them a bit cheaper, get them here, flip them, make a bit of money, right? It's part of the game. All right, it's part of the collecting. Yeah, you buy some boxes, maybe you buy 10, you flip 7 of them. That means 3 of them essentially become free or like $25 boxes, and you have some fun ripping. That's what I always say, mitigating your losses, because there's nothing worse than spending $1,000 on a product like I've done before, Doma, and ripping it and getting DeAndre Hunter auto as your best card. Right, that's what happened to me last year. So I learned my lesson, and I never do that again. But what I don't like to see is people bringing these boxes over and selling it for ridiculous prices and idiots in these groups actually gobbling it up and paying these prices. I seen during the week Select Basketball mega boxes going for $400 Australian a pop. Yes, you heard that right, Doma. $400. And
Jeepers.
The bloke had about 10 for sale and they sold within like an hour. Gone. Done. People bought them for $400. Another bloke, I seen him $360, $350. Snapped up. Now, the bloke who's selling it, so you're not the Le Mans. You're not the Le Mans. So you're safe. Because at the end of the day, your boxes, you can price them whatever the hell you want. Right? Good luck. Well done to you to doing that. Right? I could freaking do that. I could if I wanted to. But it just goes against the whole, if I bring the boxes over, I'm going to sell them for a pretty decent price, something around market, maybe a little bit above, because I've had to go through the effort to get them from America, but not $400. Now, Doma, what I'll do is I'll bring up here just to show people, right? I'll bring it up. Here's eBay right now. I'll bring it up, ladies and gentlemen. Buy it now, $99. Select Basketball Mega Box. Buy it now, $100. This is with free shipping. Now, I'll go over to ship my cards. Now, because it's close to the $100, you're going to have to send it to Oregon because you're going to save on tax because that's the whole point of ship my cards. So you send it to Oregon address, $10 for a box of cards. So say we just bought, let's just use round numbers for the sake of things, Doma. $100, we just bought it now on eBay. $10 to put it in your Oregon address at Ship My Cards, right? For the people in Australia, maybe the people that are outside of the States, Canada, wherever it may be. Maybe not Canada, but maybe like the Europe or whatever. Then, say you ship it over and you have more things in there, so you got a whole bunch of stuff, and let's add another $10. So it's $120 US. $120 US, Doma, is 165 Australian dollars. You just saved yourself $235. You could have bought 2 boxes for the price of 1 box that you bought of some bloke in a Facebook group. Doma. The people going out there, I understand it's a new product. I understand you're hyped to rip some Select. But how many times do I have to say this? When shit first comes out, this is what these people do. They get it here quick. They try flog it off because they know that once the retail hits in this country, once there's more supply, the prices are going to come down. Happened with Prism. Happens with every product. Happened with Hoops this year. How many more times do I have to say this on this podcast? How many more times do I have to point this out that you're wasting money down the drain? Now, it's all good if you go and then hit a big LaMelo Ball card or a big Anthony Edwards card, right? Big LeBron card. It's great. That's like 0.11%. 0.01%, sorry. So for literally buying one box for the price of two that you could have got if you just went through the effort to get it back from America and just wait maybe 2 weeks, those people that are paying those idiotic prices, you are lemons. Lemons. This frustrates me, Tomo. This frustrates me so freaking much. Frustrates me so freaking much.
Here he goes. Fantasy. He came at the best time. He's come at the best time. Pedro in the chat said he's in the States. He gets boxes of 21 mega cracks for 20 euros from Spain, and then he sells them here for 70 to 120 bucks because that's what the price is. By all means, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Like, it's
I'm
the
not,
people.
I just
It's
said
whoever
that. I said,
pays
I'm
the
not,
price. Yeah,
that's
it's
right.
whoever pays
The lemons
price.
are the people that are paying those prices, right? I understand you're hyped, but you literally are getting one box for the price of two if you just had a bit of patience. Yeah? Like,
FOMO.
do your
You don't want to
research.
miss
How many
out.
more
You don't want
times?
to miss out.
You don't want to miss out on something. Mate, there's that many listings of mega boxes. Panini is printing that much of this shit, right? No one's going to miss out. Yeah? No one's missing out. Panini's bringing out an extra 10 products on the 50 they bought last year as well, right? So no one's going to miss out on anything. And next year, wait till they've lost. The next 4 years, Panini's bringing out 100 products a year minimum. That's just the minimum, right? Because they're losing the license, so they're going to milk the cow for as much as they can. Yeah? It frustrates the fuck out of me, Dom, that people pay these prices. Like, I just look at that and I'm going to go, are you serious? Like, come on, man. Like, come on. Like, and look, it's not everyone. There are some people out there that have gone through the effort and bought the boxes in, gone full Stephen A. Yeah, of course, mate. Blasphemy.
I think, Shane, if you haven't noticed, and everyone else watching, I'm just trying to elongate this segment as much as possible because I'm loving this. Loving this.
Doma, there are some people out there that are selling boxes reasonably priced. Megas have got them in them, and they're literally selling them for 200 Australian dollars, which is a very reasonable price. As you've seen, it costs 165. He's only making probably 20%, on the box, which is good, And there are some guys out there that are on the selling side of things aren't greedy, but I actually don't blame the seller. And it's like all these people that have a go at, the people buying the banner packs at Kmart and then reselling it. Like, why are you having a go at the seller? Right,
Pedro,
the seller's
I'm just gonna
take an opportunity.
I'm gonna point this out right now. Everyone that listens to this podcast, if they're still not using Ship My Cards, that's their problem because we've said it from day dot.
Don't worry, we'll sort you out. We'll get an affiliate link for Ship My Cards soon. We'll email Mr. Brian Wells himself. There will be an affiliate Ship My Cards. We'll get another one on board, Doma.
Mate, honestly, we've been saying that from day one. If you're trying to get stuff...
Exactly. Said that. If you're not using Ship My Cards, if you're out of America, what are you doing? You are wasting, you're pissing money down the drain, literally.
100%. 100%.
So,
all right, Sauce.
Doma, moving on. Enough of that. I've actually got my ears are that hot with these headphones on. I'll tell you what, I'm going to have to take one off. There's steam coming out.
Panther said, Cello is willing to sell at $90 a pack for special double coverage members prizes.
Sauce you can stick them up where the sun don't shine, brother.
Yeah, hopefully they do learn. Hopefully. All right, let's move on. I'm going to share my screen, Sauce. That's what I'm going to do. Get Pornhub off the other tab. Get this one up. Blockchain.
We're going to be an affiliate of them too.
Fuck, mate, if we become an affiliate of them, we've made it. Bro. Wouldn't even have to do anything. Yeah, well, there you go. Card porn should have them as an affiliate. It makes more sense. All right, let's go through this before we absolutely lose the plot. Bit of hobby talk. We probably should have played the card ladder intro But
We'll play it after this segment.
I'll stuff that. Anyway, let's get to it. Some blockchain cards that obviously come with a physical. Man, I don't know what's going on. Pedro,
blockchain cards that come with the physical card. So you get the NFT and the physical card. As we can see, these are now just becoming a sticker dump. And I have the ultimate feeling that this is becoming a milk machine again. You know, before there was a bit of effort because they were on cards. The last how many weeks in a row we've done this, Dom? It's literally just been a sticker dump. 3
weeks. It's been a sticker dump. So we got.
Yeah, I think this is what we're looking forward to. I think Panini's going to go very, very, very much down the sticker road and try and milk the shit out of autos and sticker autos, which is pretty sad, to be honest.
Yeah, it probably will happen. Everything here is 1-on-1, so if you're listening, but make sure you go check them out. These cards do look sick. I know they are sticker dumps, but we've got a LaMelo Ball laundry tag auto. It's a rookie, clearly. Trevor Lawrence. With my biggest pet peeve in the hobby at the moment. It's a rookie card, but he's in his collegiate gear, and then he's going to get another rookie card in his Jags gear, which absolutely shits me up the wall. Same with Trey Lance. It is a patch auto. Then we've got a Fernando Tatis logo auto, and then we've got a Albert Pujols, Jalen Hurts patch auto, Jason Tatum patch auto, Baker Mayfield, logo star auto, a Justin Jefferson logo star auto, Isaiah Stewart laundry tag auto, my boy CD Lamb shield star auto, Precious Achua laundry tag auto, Braden Pritchard logo man auto, a Zion logo man. Honestly, I prefer just the Zion logo man source of the fact of it's not a sticker. Then we've got a dual order of Tyrese Halliburton and Tyrese Maxey, and it's a dual logo man auto. We've got a Christian Pache patch auto, Jonathan Taylor, my boy, Jay-Sean Tate, and to finish it off, we've got a Derrick Henry Shield Star auto in there. So there you go. I don't know, Sauce. I'm with you. The quality started to drop a fair bit. We'll see how we go in the next few weeks, and we'll take it from there, I guess. We'll see what happens. All right. Fanatics, Sauce. We had an impromptu live when all the information came out. And then we found out by Sham Charania, it's not the source.
Sham bomb.
I just didn't think Shams was going to be the one to drop it. It makes sense, though, because he's in the NBA circles. But Fanatics have acquired pretty much the whole license to the NBA, PA, and the NBA, and they're going to create cards. So pretty much effectively pushing Panini out the door. They're gone. 25, 26, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So they're going to look to make cards. I just want to get your thoughts on the future of Fanatics with all this stuff. I know we mentioned in the live, and people were panicking in terms of like, oh, how are they going to get this up and running? And we said they're just going to go poach everyone. So we don't need to really talk about that. They'll just get the best people involved. They're a multi-billion-dollar company, and they can afford to go get whoever the hell they want. And they'll make this segment of their business succeed. But it's more the fact of a lot of people have spoken throughout the week of licensing, buying out the actual companies. Will Fanatics buy out Panini, Topps? Will they buy out Upper Deck? Will they buy the license to the Prism products and have like Fanatics Prism, or I don't know, give Panini the rights to make Thing Source to make Prism cards for them. So just your thoughts. What do you reckon?
Yeah, look, I think there's a number of things or ways this can go. This can go, Fanatics go, go commando, go solo at this. Well, not solo, but, they go poach people who have been in the industry for a while. Go get people from Panini, go get people from maybe from Upper Deck, whatever, poach them, because obviously they've got the licensing, they want to come work for them, and they make a whole card division. They go into the whole printing process. Alternatively, they go literally buy out an existing card company, whether it be Topps, whether it be Panini, whether it be Upper Deck, that have the infrastructure, and they then essentially will make cards. We'll probably say like Upper Deck, and then have owned by Fanatics on the bottom or something like that. Who knows? And maybe that gives people a bit more sort of security around the cards that are coming out. But I'm not really sure. What I do know is this is a complete change in the game. I feel like this is going to help maybe the retail game here in Australia, with Fanatics already having a license with Rebel Sport that we know about. So maybe we might be buying prison packs in not prison, but like packs. Let's say prison packs, but packs in Rebel Sport, which will be interesting, which will be pretty cool. But yeah, there's a few ways that this can play out. All that we know is that Josh Luber, the main man, he needs a few people. He's put out a hiring post on his IG, and I've applied for the NAP Waker Upper. So hopefully I can get the position, and all I got to do is waking up from naps, and I can work at Fanatics, mate, which will be brilliant. But look, it's interesting, man. It's interesting, and I'm more interested to see what happens now with the whole. They went into a big, instead of just focusing on what was their bread and butter, Panini and Topps and that, they got too distracted by the other stuff, such as NFTs and the like, and now they've lost it all, because now they won't actually be able to do NFTs because they don't have the Players Association licensing, so they won't be able to make them. Because they can't put the jerseys on. So yeah, that's what I was talking about, Adam, mate. Like, I think this is a worrying for that, but it might be good in the sense where, while these ones are already minted, so it might be an idea that if you do want to get into the NFT area, is getting these ones, because what we have seen with NFTs in the past is the early stuff ends up being the stuff that's more desirable later on. So looking at it that way, it's like it's a worry for them, but I feel like they dropped the ball massively. Like Panini, Topps, both of them, they dropped the ball massively. If they were going to lose shit, like, they should have tried to do their best in hindsight to keep it, but I guess they couldn't fight the behemoth that was Fanatics when their company's literally worth 6 times the amount, nearly 4 times the amount.
So a few things. Source Global says they can't do it by themselves. Panther agrees. They have to. He still feels that they subcontract the license. I don't feel they want to make cards. They just want to control the cards. Global says they didn't get the NFT licensing, and then Pedro is saying that they should make like some porn star fucking set. I don't know what he's on about. He's lost the plot. Honestly,
who would you want in it, Pedro? Tell us a name in the comments.
Oh god. Honestly, to answer Panther's question, I actually feel that they're going to make cards, not to the capacity of what Panini does. I believe Panini, they might actually do that, like subbing out stuff to them to make, well, the licensing. But I don't know. It'd be just easier for them to just buy the companies, really, if that's the case. Instead of having to pay them a share, just buy them and they'll recoup the costs about it across the board. I genuinely reckon that Fanatics are going to have card products. It's going to be a Fanatics Chrome, for example. It won't be called Chrome, but it'll be an equivalent. Like, we've got Panini Chrome and Panini Prism, and you've got Topps Chrome and stuff like that. They'll have a Fanatics brand. I genuinely think, I've said it to Source, because
they want their branding on there on some sort
of.
They
want their branding on there. Yeah, I understand. It could be Panini that could own the company, and it'd be like a Fanatics Panini Prism or whatever they lease it out to them to do the product for them. Panther said, when you think about the growth of sports carding, Panini have done more to keep it. I understand what you're saying, but my thoughts behind it is they're going to create card products. It's not like they're just going to control it and not put out their own products. They will get to that. I genuinely think because they got the licensing with jerseys and stuff like that, game worn. Obviously, whether they want to, I don't know, hold off certain jerseys from selling them in whole and cutting up pieces of that jersey and putting patches of that jersey and putting them in cards, and actually saying that this is a Luka Doncic patch auto, and then on the back it says this patch was game worn by Luka Doncic in the game where he dropped X amount of points on Christmas Day this season or last season, and actually have more relevance and more meaning to the patches. I think they could do stuff like that. Whether they will, I'm just saying they have that scope to do it because of that licensing. I just genuinely reckon they will. Josh Luber's there. They've hired someone from Panini, I'm pretty sure. I read something during the week. A big week from Panini is going across, and he's going to be working with Josh Luber. He's going to be spearheading a part of the department in the sports card area.
The poaching begins, Doma. The poaching begins.
I'm not joking. They're just going to go. Just think about this. They've got 5 years to get this shit sorted, and in 5 years, you might not get those people at the beginning, but as sources keep saying, in business, when you know the doors are shutting on your business, and there's the possibility as a designer or a logistics manager or a production manager on creating cards and doing all this stuff, is if you're the top gun in your role and you see the doors closing and going, fuck, this is the end for us creating cards. It doesn't look like they're going to give us licensing to make Prism. They're not going to buy us out. They're literally just going to do their own products. They'll just say, yeah, I'll do this at Panini. And they'll say, yeah, you're hired. We need someone like you. Like, they're 10 times the company that Panini is in terms of value. I understand they're not, like, Panini also do memorabilia and stuff also, but that's just my feeling on it. They got 5 years to get it sorted. And let's just put it this way. Josh Luber isn't creating StockX from ground for 5 years. You know, it's not a company like that. It's Josh Luber, he's billions of dollars, create the sports card department for our company. That's what it is. He's not starting from ground up. He's literally, he's starting from ground up in terms of the premise and the idea, but funds-wise, the world's his oyster. He can get who he wants, when he wants, how he wants, if they're willing to come across. He's networked. He's well-loved in the hobby. He's well-known. He's got great raps on his personality. He's a networking king. So, honestly, like, he's really good friends with Gary Vee, if that means anything, and I'll just point it out there. How long is Luka, Kyrie, Jar, etc. Panini contract? That's a good question.
It's a very good question.
Are they exclusive? Saucey, that's on to you, mate. On the Google, while we answer, Panini's getting licensing, but you should see them branching out to different areas like entertainment, cartoons, and novelty areas like previously mentioned in proto sets. Yeah. There's still a market for Panini to do stuff. They've still got soccer.
Still got the stickers.
They've still got stickers. They've still got other stuff they can do. Is there any chance Panini produce unlicensed cards like they do baseball? Yeah, I don't see why not. But as we've seen in the market, people aren't really...
I don't know how the form, like the contract around that, around the Players Association, because that was the reason why they could do it before, because it was actually with the Players Association and not with the league, as far as I understand. But they've got the actual Players Association on board with this.
And they're going to get a cut. So all I'm saying is, as you've seen with a couple of those NBA players that are in Top Shot and they're pumping it up, and everyone's like, so-and-so's in Top Shot and this and that, and and they're showcasing their portfolio, you're going to start seeing that a lot by the players, because depending on how successful they are or the product is in the market and how much money it grosses for that product, the players that signed for that product or have name, image, and likeness to do with that product, a cut will go to the PA to be then distributed among those players that were involved. That's the difference. they're getting extra funds on the side. So if sports cards goes to heights it's never seen before, and they're making a shit ton of money, and a portion goes to the PA, and they're making 50 products a year, then I'll tell you what, there's going to be a few players that are down below, like rookies and stuff, that are going to make a fair bit of coin out of this. So I genuinely reckon that they'll make their own stuff. A few more questions here. Global says, do you see them bringing in someone like Tyson Beck? I hope so.
They know what's good for them. They would really go down that road and get some new age designers in there. You know, like I understand there's the old guys. You could go pull out the old timers, which wouldn't be a bad thing. You know, to go get the, you know, as we've spoken about, like Carvin and potentially poach him to design some cards and bring back some of that old school exquisite styles. But then, you know, Tyson and what some of these other guys are doing, like Morning Breath, and some of the guys that are working on the Tops Project 70 and last year the Tops Project 2020. I mean, I think that's the play, man. Like making some sick cards. I mean, Panini stuffs has got stale, man. Like let's not deny it, Domo. It's gotten real stale. And
I was listening to Card Talk Pod, and they said that NT won't be coming back when Fanatics get the license, if they do like buy out Panini or something like that. And my advice is Panini, don't bring back NT next year, full stop, because it's a piece of shit of a product. So that's my advice.
Yeah. Look, their stuff's gotten real stale, and you know, there's one thing that pisses me off, Domo, is the inability to change the way cards look between sports. Yeah, like, you know, you see how it comes out in NFL, and you know that's how it's going to look in basketball. And it's very, you know, it's just lazy. It's just lazy. And I really hope that Fanatics do a lot better with their imaging rights, or the way it goes around. Like we've heard, obviously, Carvin talk about this sort of stuff on a podcast about imaging and editing imaging and choosing, you know, imaging for players and stuff. But he even thinks that Panini could do a better job. And they're just literally lazy. And what it comes down to is the fact that they're just trying to pump out so many products and milk it that they don't want to go, you know, get more images. They just got a database and they just go, yep, pick that one. And that's what they do. So back on the point of obviously Shano wanted me to have a look. I can't really find about Luca exactly how long he signed for. It just says a multi-year deal. Doesn't actually say exactly.
If it says multi-year, it'll be up by the time 2026 rolls around.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one thing. Luca's like, is Luca going to be the only one that's going to sign with Panini? He could, and Panini release unlicensed basketball products, and the only guy that they've got in there that's licensed is Luca the Don.
He'd have to sign 300,000 autographs a year.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Well, they just put everything.
Well, he's got his mum to sign as well.
Yeah, they put stickers on everything anyway these days, so it doesn't matter. Global says these manufacturers have to get really creative with their unlicensed products, and that's time consuming. Having to get the play, like now Panini can just go, because they got name, image, and likeness for basketball and football. They can just go rip the image, pay for whatever the licensing is to use that image, and then they just rip it and chuck it in the card and go, this looks cool, and then you build a parallel version and you build everything around it. It's a lot harder when there's nothing there. You got to take out names on cards, and you go buy their baseball cards and you buy a Judge and it just says Aaron Judge and it says New York. You can't put Yankees on there. They haven't got the rights to that. You know what I mean? You can't see the logo. I know the logo really doesn't mean a shit ton, but it's like it says New York, and it's not the same. It's just not the same. Panther says, same as Leaf, so may create a larger unlicensed product market. What's more important, the player, the ink, or the jersey? Well, honestly, Panther, Leaf's been putting out some fire stuff. I've seen some crazy cards.
Hey, I'm all for unlicensed stuff, but it needs to be creative. It needs to be like how you know, we don't want to keep pumping him up, but like how Tyson Beck's done it, and it's real creative stuff. It's not like plain Jane, just them on the field, and you know, it's real artistic on the card, and then you've obviously get autos on it, on card autos and stuff. Like I think that is the play for them to really go down that road. But you know, who knows whether they listen to two blokes sitting on their computer chairs, but I think that's really a viable option and something that they should look into, because look, they're massive companies, so they should be looking at other ways to provide some sort of value to the card market. Or else, I mean, let's be honest, they're still missing out on money, and which company doesn't like to make more money? So it's in their best interest to do that.
Pedro says what would be cool is if either could make custom sets for individuals, organizations, he's got a business, and decide to put the whole staff on a Prism template. I'll tell you what you can do, Pedro. All right, if he's happy to do it. The great man, Adam Smith, Beats and Breaks, who's in here. If not, check out Beats and Breaks on Instagram. He does custom cards, mate. Just go hit him up. He'll create the Prism card for you with your colleagues on there. He'll put your staff on there, and it'll look... I'll tell you one thing, it'll look 10 times better than any piece of shit card that Panini's going to put out. And I can attest to that, because he's been creating some fire custom cards at the moment. Absolute fire. So shout out to Adam. This is good. Good questions. Keep them rolling. When Panini lost hockey in 2014, they used up all the game use they had left. That was for years in one season.
I hope that happens, Shano. I hope that happens, because that means we'll actually get some fire cards, and we'll get some more game used, game worn stuff. Not the spotlight patches that we've been getting this year in the rookies. How anyone is spending so much money on these RPAs from this year is beyond me. Like these the patches have no relevance to the player. They're literally they could be cutting up a youth jersey, right, and chucking it in there. Like, you don't know, right? I understand it's not game worn or whatever, but there are parts of it that later on in the season that end up being game worn. Now, are we still not going to, when it gets to flawless immaculate, are we still not going to get game worn stuff? I mean, that would be pretty bad. I don't understand like why that couldn't be the case. You know, why after the game they literally just go, yeah, put your thing in this bag, we've got to send it off to Panini. Like, it would amaze me if it's still just spotlight patches come immaculate, flawless. I mean, they've done it with NT, man. Like, nothing would surprise me at this point.
I just chucked the Adams Insta account in the chat, Pedro. So if anyone's keen, Adam does do custom cards. Shane says, I love Leaf. I'm a big Leaf guy. Honestly, I don't see what the bad rap on Leaf is. It shits me up the wall. Unlicensed this, unlicensed that. A lot of their stuff on those sick quad cards and stuff, Panther, like you mentioned, it's got the bust of the player. So you see from chest up, you don't see logos, and they got SIGs. I put a card in our story. I put in that group chat the other day where I had like Conor McGregor auto, a Ronaldo, a Messi, in a booklet. In a two-page booklet. There's 4 on one side, 4 on another. I've seen a Ronaldo, Messi, and another 2 players. I forget, or Pele and someone else on a quad Leaf card. Like, they're getting a shit rap because everyone's like, it's unlicensed, but people then go and buy freaking Topps Baseball. Panini Baseball is unlicensed. What's the difference? And like, oh, this is the best. Oh, we should be buying this. You know, it's a cheaper product. Yeah, because it's unlicensed. But Leaf make sick cards. I got nothing against them for that stuff. I reckon if you're making quality cards, whether it's unlicensed or not, you know, there's a market out there for people. It's still the auto. It's still a Cristiano Ronaldo auto. It's still a Messi auto on a card. So
I like it.
There's some sick stuff. Shano says he agrees 1,000%, but even normally a rookie is only player worn, not game worn for everything except flawless. Correct. I want to answer one up here, Sauce. Here's a nice one for you from Marty. If you could keep any product from any company, what would you choose?
I've seen that question.
We'll go
tough
Topps.
one.
We'll go Topps, Panini, and Upper Deck. We'll see.
What? We'll see. You don't even put my favorite. You don't even put my freaking favorite company. Put my favorite sets in there, mate. Nah, I'm barring all of them. I want Skybox. Skybox. Give me some Skybox stuff. Bring back the old Skybox.
Upper Deck owns Skybox now, don't
Oh,
they?
fuck. I don't fucking know that, mate. I just see Skybox on the card, mate. Just bring back the Skybox stuff. That's what we want. Bring back that. All right.
We're not
and
talking.
It'll be happy days.
But of the big three, what do you want to bring back? One product.
None. Skybox.
Oh my.
That's my answer.
Right. I'll answer the question for you, Marty. Upper Deck, exquisite. All right, that's what I want to see back. Tops, I would like Chrome for basketball. I love that. And then, honestly, this is how cooked it is because you get to Panini and you're just like, I don't want Prism because I picked Chrome. Chrome takes a dump on Prism and Select, mate. As simple as that. I've said it before for soccer cards. It goes with basketball cards as well. It's heads and shoulders above Prism and Select. In all honesty, it's crazy. Maybe I'm hung up on it because how good it's been the last couple of years. But if I had to pick one product from Panini, all on card, I've got Exquisite, so I don't want Immaculate and Flawless because they're the high end. I'd rather have Exquisite. But that mid-tier to high end, I'd take Impeccable from Panini.
Marty will disagree with you severely on that because
of course
he's not a fan of Impeccable. But
I've justified it. Tops Chrome
to answer the question. I would probably take Flawless. I like Flawless from Panini. I think that's one of their better sets out there. And I've got some Flawless stuff, so it looks really good. I don't mind Immaculate as well, but yeah, it's tough, man. I really like, as I said, I just think some of the design, some of the inserts and stuff that they did back on Skybox, they're just unmatched, man. Like there's nothing that Panini can do that can even come close to some of that stuff. And like, think about it, like the technology in printing has come so far since then. Like, why do they still make shit inserts? Like, one of the inserts I've seen out of a set's called they had the old set, the old from back in the 90s. It was called, I think it was called Powering the Key.
Powering the Key. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Panini's pretty much ripped that off, calling it Powering the Paint. Right? They just ripped it off. So original, calling it Powering the Paint.
That's
like,
all right.
No creativity at that company. No creativity whatsoever. Like, just once again brings it back to laziness, in my opinion. But yeah, that's half the reason why I'm sort of happy that Panini's lost the license, to be honest.
Adam said, did Panini see the Fanatics thing coming, gave up and said, stuff him, no more game worn? Potentially. I think COVID did factor in a lot of that stuff, Adam, as well.
A lot of that.
Shane, player worn is literally just 20 jerseys at a time for 20 seconds. I don't know if player worn is any better than non-associated. No, 100%. It has to be game worn. Game worn stuff is like the best.
Yeah, but a lot of the early stuff in the sets is all player worn, which we all know it's just at the rookie day where they chuck on 20 jerseys on top of each other and then they just rip them all off at once. I mean, yeah, I get it. Panther
says he'd take Flawless. It's our era of Exquisite. I agree it is, but if they're getting Upper Deck and you can get Exquisite back. Pedro,
Fanatics Exquisite, mate. They don't own the name. They don't actually own Exquisite, the word. It's a word.
Yeah. How about PMG Soccer? Well, Fanatics don't have soccer, so. But it would be sick to see some PMG Soccer cards. They'll own everything eventually. Pedro also said, "What's good with the fake Ronaldo stickers and BGS slabs on eBay this month? Pop went from 150 to 220." Listen, I'm being honest. I'm not talking about the Ronaldo sticker post at all. I'm staying very clear of that. The person that put that up got absolutely flamed because they haven't got substantial evidence. Well, I thought he showed a fair bit of evidence, but he's getting flamed by other people. I'm not talking about it. I don't really, to be honest.
And Doma, we don't actually know, so we're not going to give an opinion on something that we don't know about. I actually don't follow the Ronaldo sticker, rookie sticker, so I can't really comment on it.
I'm not in the position.
There's one thing that I'd hope that people do when you do make that sort of post is get all in capital letters, the research, all of it, and not just go ahead and put something
and
out there
once
without
again,
having substantial
yeah,
evidence.
and once again, Sauce, as you've said countless times, when it comes to grading, if they're fake stickers, they're not going to know. So what are you going to do? They're just going to slab them up and sell them. So sometimes it's like necessary to, have your cards graded. Besides the point. I don't know. I'm with Sauce. We don't know.
Don't get me started on the grading thing, Doma. You know what's going to come out of my mouth. What's going to come out of my mouth.
I'll give you the best piece of advice. This is the best piece of advice, Pedro. There's a couple guys that do podcasts on this network. They are well more informed on this stuff than what Sauce and I are with the soccer stickers. So feel free to hit up Anthony Collects, Mars Sports Cards, Azuro Cards, Card Hour. Even just go check out the Soccer Card Collective podcast. Anyone that's on there are probably the key guys to talk to about this stuff. We'll steer clear of it. I don't want to say something, and Sauce doesn't want to say something that we put our foot in it. And then everyone look at these guys, because we're the number one people that have said that people that don't know stuff and don't have research and info on all the stuff shouldn't be really talking about things and putting out stuff. Not saying that the person that did that, but you just got to be very careful, because the community is very, very quick to jump down people's throats. It is crazy. So like Saul said, make sure you have every piece of freaking evidence before you go making posts about stuff. About allegations on certain things that's happening in the hobby. All right, Sauce. Any further questions? Keep them coming. We're going to keep rolling. Sauce. eBay offers on cards.
I mean, why is the button even there, man? Why is it even there?
It shouldn't be there.
It shouldn't be there. Get rid of the offer button.
It should just say, buy it now. This is the price. And then it should say in brackets, no wiggle room. That's what it should say. Price stands. That's it. Take it or leave it. There's so many things you could put next to the price. 35 USD, take it or leave it. Or have $35. Last comp was $15. Stuff you, take it or leave it. That's it. That's literally, you could put so many things on the listing. They put all the other bullshit in the title of a listing. They might as well do that. Just be like,
honestly,
2019, 20 Zion Williamson rookie. In brackets, last comp was 15 USD, and then continue and say, too bad, this is what I'm offering. There's going to be no wiggle room. Suck shit. And then they put it up for 50. It's just ridiculous.
Doma, I don't know how many times we've got to keep encountering this, and it's very frustrating when you're seeing like multiple of a card that ends on auction. Like, I mean, auctions are the true indication of what a card is worth. And then you go offer, you want the card, you go offer maybe $5 over comps, and then they try to make you pay $15 over comps. Mind you, they're already like $25 over comps. And you're like, nah, look, mate, I'll come up to $7.50 over comps. And they go, nah. $15 still. And they just send you back. Maybe they'll send you back $14 over comps. And they'll send you back.
And then they just keep declining everything else.
And then
until there's no more offers. It's fucking
and then they just keep declining until there's no more offers.
Lemons.
So it's frustrating why that button is even there sometimes, and it's even more frustrating when you get declines from hobby shops, where, in my opinion, the priority should be turnover, not eat every last cent out of a deal. Look. The cards, and the worst part is when you follow it and you leave it in your eBay watch list and it ends up staying there for another 30 days, and you're like, well, you could have just sold the card for $20.
And you're making $5 over the comps anyway.
Then taking that with your $20, put it back into your business and bought more cards. Right? It's very frustrating. So, look, it's one of the most annoying things about the hobby. If you're not willing to work with people on offers, or especially, people aren't going to turn around and offer you, if you got a price at $40 and the last comp's $15, like, what, people aren't going to offer you $35. Like, people are smart enough to go look up what the card recently sold for and offer you something around that mark, right? And they're even being fair, like, even being fair to the point where, you offer $5 over, which will also sort of account for that eBay fee so that you actually get more towards the actual comp in your account, and they still don't want to work with you. And it just becomes very, very frustrating. So look, Doma, it's something that you have to deal with in the hobby and with on eBay. But if you're not you do know, I don't know if everyone actually knows, there's a freaking auto decline. Yeah. Like if you don't want to take less than, in this case, for example, $30, or just put the auto decline at $30. Like just put it there. Right. And people do that. And that's something that I've learned to do is put the auto decline on. But, yeah,
100% agree.
it's frustrating. It's frustrating. That's for sure. And I hope, I don't think it's going to change. Sorry. I don't think it's going to
I was
change.
trying to buy a card this week that was comping at around 12 to 15 Australian. It was getting sold for 50 Australian. And I automatically, first offer went to $15. It was auto declined. So I went to 20. And that's obviously an offer that's accepted on there. To 20. And then it's just like, nah, we're going to 35. And I said, all right, to 20, not 35. I said, all right, 22. I go seven. This is, mind you, $7 to $10 over comps. Decline. It says, this is your final offer. And I said, well, I'm offering $22, mate. I'm not coming up from 22. Like, why am I setting the new comps at? This is on eBay, yeah? So when they put it in 130 point next time and they see the card comping for 22 Australian dollars, which is whatever that is, 15 USD, 16 USD, then all of a sudden they're setting new market prices. Like, why do I want that card, which is not worth that, to then be put out there? Like, it's ridiculous. There he is. When the market is high, comps matter. When the market is low, comps are only a guide, said by a great man. The comps are the comps. That's it. It's just ridiculous. So, anyway, that's just my feelings on it is the same as yours.
When PWCC is bloody shilling, the comps matter. When they're off the platform and they're not, they don't matter. Look, we don't actually know if they are.
That's just a joke.
Joking
Relax, everyone. That's just a joke.
No defamation claims, PWCC. It's
please.
a joke. But we know that there's no actual hard evidence from eBay just yet. We don't know if they're going to even release anything. It is eBay, so they probably won't. But yeah,
we'll leave that to the proper people to sort out that one. Sauce, just a quick shout out to StockX. They helped you out during the week. You gave him a little shout out and you got in return a gift.
I got a mega box, Chronicles 1920 mega box for free. Shout out StockX. Happy with that one. Don't worry about that, Doma. We'll see what we do with it. Maybe we might do a giveaway. Don't know. Maybe I might rip it. I don't know. Haven't decided, but I'll leave it there for now. It's got the little verification sticker on it. Thank you very much.
I like it. All right. Lucky last in Hobby Talk. There's a golden auctions on at the moment. There's 3 days left. Just a few card Sauce. What do we got? We got a Exquisite LeBron 0304 rookie patch auto, BGS 9, currently at 950,000 on the bid there. We've got another playoff contenders Brady championship ticket rookie card, number 52 of 100. It's a 7.5 with the BGS 10 auto. That's almost half, $425,000. Another Jordan PSA 10 rookie. That's at 220,000 at the moment. If there's any surprises, we'll stop. We're just going through it. Some more Herbies. Here's a nice one, Sauce. Panini Prism Gold, LeBron James, 2 of 10. PSA 8. That is the horizontal card of him doing the reverse jam. Sorry for people that are listening. There's a Haaland up here for 56K. Superfractor Champions League. It's a 1-of-1. Jordans is a nice one, Sauce. 97-98 Metal Universe. PMG. Kobe Bryant. 61 out of 100. It's a PSA Authentic. Currently bidding at 42,000. Tatis in there. Reggie Jackson. What do we got here? Giannis. RPA from Immaculate. There's a Trout lot here. BGS 10 card collection. What else we got here? Playoff contenders. LeBron, Kobe, Jordo. Some nice card Sauce in this one. Some nice cards. Another Haaland. Predominantly, it is basketball and baseball this time around. So, very nice.
Have a look at this one, Doma. Wait, take your screen off. We'll bring this up. Hang on. Look at that. 1-of-1 Leaf series, as we were talking about before. Leaf Pearl 8 signatures. 1-of-1. Lionel Messi, Steph Curry, Errol Spencer Jr., Floyd Mayweather Jr. Interesting card. Interesting. Definitely.
They're sick cards. Panini. Leaf. Some of the cards, very underrated. But definitely get out onto Golden Auctions, have a look, and check it out. You might see something that interests you.
Look,
you might want to bid.
Quick note, I'm going to say to people, go out there. Obviously, you've got Heritage Auctions, you've got Golden Auction, you got what's the other one out there? I can't remember. Find out the main auction houses. Get an account in there. Just get on there. Get verified, because you never know. There may be something that jumps on there and you want to bid on it and you haven't set yourself up on there. So go do it. Because obviously PWCC, which sold a massive amount of cards on eBay, is off. eBay is seeing less cards. There's less slabs on there. Obviously, I'm expecting PWCC to have their own platform or their own marketplace at some point, so I'll definitely be getting onto that. It's becoming a bit of a pain, I'll be honest with you, Dom, having to go across all of these different auction houses and marketplaces. And, if you're not on my slabs, you're definitely losing out on potentially other pickups as well. So there's another one out there to make sure you join up my slabs. Get on there, right? What with these auction houses, get on there, get verified, just be on there, because you never know, there might be something that you want and you want to have a crack at, and you haven't set yourself up on there, so then you're not going to be able to. And then by the time you go through the whole process, it's not like eBay, we can just make an account in 1 second, connect your PayPal, and away you go. A lot of these auction houses have a credit check process that they go through, and they really vet you before allowing you on the platform, which is a good thing, Dom. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's a good thing, but I'm saying it takes time to do that shit. It can't just happen within 24 hours, So definitely, if you do want to bid on these cards, you just get yourself set up for future auctions, and away you go. All right, Doma, enough. On to Saucey's Smokey, and
definitely is.
I've got not a bad one, Doma. I've got not a bad one. It's a guy that I've brought up before, Doma, and it's a guy that I've brought up before, and the card that I'm gonna bring up, it's an interesting one. Now it was at a massive low point. Well, I'll bring up the card here. First of all, it's NFL play. We're on the verge of NFL, and now why am I saying this? Because I feel like there's a very good potential for them to win their division, right? So in their division, it's the AFC North. You got the Bengals, the Browns, and the Steelers. Let's be honest, Big Ben, most likely gonna get injured. Bengals suck.
They suck.
Browns play better than they had in previous years. Baker, Mr. Touchdown Maker, overachieved last year. Does he play up to that standard again? We don't know. It's the first season he's ever gone to that. But there's one man in that division that plays for the Baltimore Ravens, and that man is this gentleman right here. And I'll bring it up. Lamar Jackson, right? And I've given another play of another card of his, And I actually have another select base car, concourse car, PSA 10. I think I picked it up for around 200 USD. It's going for about 275 at the moment. So here's another one. Now, this is a 6-month graph. Now, it's like last sold $434. Now, if you extend that out to 1 year, the low was back down here around Christmas time. And that was your peak time to get it, right? That's obviously around, they weren't doing too good. Dropped down a shitload in price. Now, went back up to 600. It's come back down to 400, gone back up to 675, around 400, 350. There's a couple of sales, but back around the 430 mark. Now, I'm not saying go buy it, hold it for the rest of his career. I'm saying grab the card. I feel like that division isn't the best. Very good chance for them to win. Big Ben 100% will get injured, right? So there's no chance of the Steelers doing anything in that division. 100% will get injured. Then you've got the Bengals, 100%. They stink, right? And Browns overachieved last year, so I'm not going to buy into the hype again. I'm not going to buy into the hype of Baker Mayfield. He's won an MVP, ladies and gentlemen. He's won an MVP. Yeah, I understand people keep doubting his arm, but there's one thing, there can be improvement on a guy, right? And if he has that mentality, if he has that Mamba mentality, he's gone out there, he's improved that, he understands that he needs to be better at staying in the pocket, not being too quick to step out of the pocket. But he's got that innate ability of just to extend plays, like a la Russell Wilson. Just get out of the pocket, extend plays, makes it hard for the defense. And then on the flip side of the ball, they've got a very, very, very good defense, Dom. And as we know, defense wins your championships. Good defense always keeps you in games. I mean, look no further than Peyton Manning at the freaking Broncos when he stunk it up through that playoff series, and the defense pretty much carried him to a championship, yeah? And he's one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play, right? So, look, I feel this is a pretty good buy at $434. The card that I'm giving is a select silver prism. Is this the premier level? Premier silver prism, PSA 10. We'll have a look at the BGS 9.5. BGS 9.5, there's not too many sales, not too many out. There's only 43 on the pop, so it's a bit hard. The last sale, was back on the 6th, 9th of the 6th, right? Let's have a look at the PSA 9. Ladies and gentlemen, PSA 9, there's only 71 in the pop. Last sale was on the 30th of the 7th. So we'll go back to the PSA 10, where there's only 231 in the pop, which is not that much. Not that much at all. In comparison to freaking 3,000 Zion Prism 10 silvers, it's not that much. So I think that's not a bad play. Also, as I say here, do your research, get on there. If you don't have Cardladder Pro, where you can go back and have a look at 6 months, 1 year, 2 years of data, head over to the link in our bio. The link will also be in the description of the show, which I forgot to add at the beginning, but I'll chuck it in there. You can also go on Instagram and head on over to our link tree and click on the Cardladder link and sign up and get the data. And then you can go back and actually have a look at more of his cards and see what's here. You organize it here on the right-hand side and see what's down the most. And that was one that stuck out in the last quarterly. So that's obviously over the last 3 months, quarterly change. So it's 3 months, third down 38%. So not a bad buy, if you ask me. And then
he's down across the board in everything.
He's down across the board in a few things, right? So it's a good opportunity. And look, at the end of the day, he needs to see a bit of a success, and then you will be able to.
I think this is the type of thing though that is helping Lamar Jackson. What Joel's saying is it's crazy how many good QBs there are in NFL this year. There's been some that aren't going to pop in terms of big prices. I also think it relates to the fact that there's so many eyes on what Herbert's going to do in his second year and what Trevor Lawrence is going to do in his first year and what Zach Wilson's going to do. And obviously you got your Mahomes and you got your Josh Allen and obviously Burrow's back from injury. And people just forget about Lamar. I don't know why. It's not like completely forget about him, but I'm telling you one thing, Sauce. Those prices will not be down the moment he starts dominating again. It'll all be in the green. It'll all start going up. As simple as that. It's just there's so much hype around all the other QBs that he just flies under the radar, which I don't know why, because he's actually a pretty good player, if you ask me. But anyway, we'll see how that transpires, mate.
Saucy Smokey for another week. Coming with the fire. I'm very happy with that one, Domo. I'm not going to lie. I'm very happy with that one. People want to, jump on these rookies, man. Rookies that have done nothing. At least this guy's been to he's in the AFC. He's been to an AFC championship game. He's won an MVP. It's got to count for something. I understand he hasn't gone the next step, but he's still young. Right? He's got time. But I'm not even saying if you're not really a Lamar Jackson believer, I just think his cards are down that much. There's an opportunity for flip here. All right. And even if you're in Australia, as I always say, buy that damn card, send it straight to damn StarStock. If you don't have a StarStock account, sign up, chuck in $5, chuck in $10, and if you chuck in $10, you get a free $5 if you use Saucey's Collectibles signing up. I'll chuck it in the chat, and I'll get a free $5. So that's why I plug it, right? But at the end of the day, if you are going to sign up and you don't have an account, why not? Help me, help you. You get a free $5. I get a free $5, right? And then we all happy. So, Saucy Collectibles, like my IG, just on the screen there, literally at Saucy Collectibles. You just type Saucy Collectibles.
Should. He's got a giveaway coming out as well.
Yes, and I've got a giveaway coming out as well. So, Look, I always give back. So, it's always nice to get something in return. But send that shit straight to StarStock, Doma. So, when he does catch fire, you sell it straight away. You only cop 5% on the fees, and there's no shipping. No damn shipping. No shipping. Right? That's what I like. You deposit 10 USD and you'll get 5 free. So, it's like 50% off. Right?
I probably should have done that with the thing Sauce, with the Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman cards.
Yeah, you probably should have done that. Doma, look, you sit across from here. I give these plays. Matty Campbell, look, let me just say, Matty Campbell, one of our listeners, long-time listeners, in our chat DMs, cardboard chat, and he loves this. He loves this play. He tells me he does it all the time, and I keep telling people, I'm like, this is a serious thing. Like, I've done it so many times.
I haven't bought anything.
Cheap shit on eBay. Add it as another address. Add it as another address on eBay. Get it shipped directly there. If you're buying slabs, it's even better. You actually write in the notes when you pay. Please, can you write FP in large bold letters on the outside of the package, because this is getting sent to StarStock on Fast Pass. They will do it. It goes and it's in your account within 1 week. Raw cards takes 3 to 4 weeks, but slab cards, it's in your account within 1 week. Catches fire, sell that shit.
He is. Speak of the devil. Here he is.
There he is. There you go. Thank you very much. Matty Campbell, he's telling me he loves doing that. It's seriously a play, man. Like, I try and give value to people. Like, what I'm actually doing, what I've made money off doing is buying cards on eBay, sending them straight to StarStock. They catch fire. And if you were smart, you were buying NFL shit like when it was down, not like, I mean, it's down a little bit now, but it's caught a little bit up. Obviously, preseason creates the hype, yeah? So you should have been buying it quite a few weeks back and just leaving it in your StarStock. Yeah, I understand it's dead money, it's there, but when we seen last year, the first 3-4 weeks, the prices on cards, when guys like Russell Wilson they were going to win the MVP, and people were going nuts over Burrow and Herbert. Herbert's the next freaking Peyton Manning. Like, fuck, man, sell that shit straight away in StarStock. You don't have to ship it. You don't have to worry about nothing. It's literally, boom, sold in your account. You only pay 5% fees. I actually can't speak high enough for StarStock. I love the platform. I think it's brilliant. So
we should get someone on from StarStock.
Yep, hopefully we can.
You'll be all over it. You'll be loving it.
Love it.
All right,
love it.
Beautiful. I'll get around to doing it, Sauce. I'll get you some $5 back. You deserve it for the play. And then every card I buy now, I've got to send it there, pretty much.
Yep. It's the best thing, man. It's really the best thing. Especially here in Australia, man, and moving, even doing it for baseball. If you know a little bit about baseball and you understand baseball prospects and guys in baseball, brilliant. Obviously, the market over here for baseball, not the best, but there's opportunity to buy and sell baseball guys, NFL guys. Here the market's not that big for it, but over there, massive. So that's the play, man.
Global said, how much does it cost to send cards back from Star Stock?
That part I don't know. Because I don't really have any intention of sending them back. I have all intention of selling them on the platform. So I don't know that part. But you can get cards out of there. I'm not sure how the price on that, so I'm not going to comment. But I'm sure it would be within their FAQ somewhere on their website, man.
Easy. All right. Another ep down. Well done, Saucey. Good play there at the end. On behalf of myself and the great man Sauce, keep living, loving, and breathing sport. It's double coverage. Peace.
Peace. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all spots. Double curve.